It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live. It's Donnie Jones Live, Donnie Jones Live.
Welcome back to Donnie Jones Live. I am Donnie the Tree Lady, and we are sitting here talking to the illustrious Ardra Sinett.
I love these adjectives.
I'm telling you, but it's true. Powerful, positive, motivated, spiritual, supernatural, gifted, beautiful.
I take it all.
Ardra
Thank you.
Sinett.
Thank you.
But you were going into your story, but we had to take a break, but we're back now, so you can rock and roll, because I had to cut her off for a minute. A sister felt bad about that. But go. What is it? I guess what I want to do is get into the nitty gritty, because people don't necessarily have the same. I think everybody has a gift, but you have this gift of positivity and you have this power in you. And I think if people would allow themselves, they could tap into that. But for people that are going through tough times because of this COVID and because of this, that, and the third, what would you say to them to help them tap into that beautiful spirit like what you've done?
You are what you eat. What you putting inside of you. What are you drinking every day? What are you eating? What are you breathing?
Yes.
And so all day I listen to your podcast. I listen to the School of Greatness. I listen to Bob Proctor. I keep it going.
Yes.
I inhale. I come out. Every single morning, even when it's cold, I walk outside barefooted and thank God because I can, because it's mine, because it's given to me and it will not be denied and not taken away. I thank God for my raggedy truck, my broken driveway, because if it wasn't broken, if it wasn't raggedy, if it wasn't this, I wouldn't be me and where I'm at. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, so it's a beauty in everything, and we have to see it.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest challenges most people face is seeing the beauty in them.
Yes.
They can see the beauty in me, and they want to talk about what about you?
What about you?
It takes teamwork to make the dream work, and this entire team is on my side. My mental, my spiritual, my physical. And so I start walking. I start taking care of myself.
Yes.
I started liking myself better.
Yes.
So you can see my transformation, because when you look at me before, when I was a millionaire, I was fat. I was cute, but I was fat. There were some things that needed to happen, needed to transpire. I needed to evolve. I needed to transition into what I wanted. And you get to decide how long it takes, how hard it's going to be.
Right.
It's all in our mind.
It is
when we fight our demons, it's what's going on in this head.
Yes,
and then what's in this head, what's in this heart. From the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks.
That is
right
so
or wrong.
true.
So
So
what
true.
I built up in my heart, what do I have? And I was joking with someone the other day. They say when you get ready to take the Lord's Supper, you shouldn't have an ought in your heart. So if you got a problem with your brother or your sister or something going on, you need to clear that up before you take the Lord's Supper, or it won't be effective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who clearing up what's inside of you? You still mad at yourself. You haven't forgiven yourself.
Yeah.
I'm releasing a book that's it's actually free, and it's called right now the name is 10 Steps to Release Your Inner Goddess.
Oh, I like
First,
that.
you gotta forgive yourself,
and you gotta know that there's an inner goddess in there also.
There you go.
That's the other thing.
You gotta know she's there, because there's children under the stairs. You don't know to let them out till you know they're there.
There you go.
Until you hear them hollering. But if you be quiet, if you shut up, if you meditate, if you close your mouth and relax your mind and realize, I am not my body. I'm like India Ari said, I'm not my hair. I'm not this body. I'm not this shell. I am this powerful tornado inside. And I have to learn how to grip it. A tornado, baby, not a rainstorm. I'm talking about, I am a full-blown grade 4. What's the highest tornado?
I don't know.
I am a grade 4 tornado ready to tear this mother up.
Yes, absolutely.
But I got to control it. First, I got to recognize it. I got to identify it.
Yes.
I got to be okay with that. I'm a tornado. And so in a tornado's path, get in my path.
Come on now.
You either gonna be a storm chaser, or I'm gonna tear you up. Get away from me, move out my way.
Yes.
But see, a tornado don't go around asking, am I a windstorm?
Come on now.
I'm about to go up against this house. Can I hit this house? That tornado goes straight through that house, that building, everywhere, through that city.
Yes.
And it's gone. It's doing its thing, right?
Yes.
So you got to realize that there's a tornado waiting for you to unleash it inside. That show about the genie when you rub that, that's you. That's really an analogy.
That's right.
If you believe in you, you got a genie inside of you ready to pop out and change your entire life. But first you got to change you, your heart condition, your mind, your words that come out of your mouth, your actions. Then they all got to line up.
That's right.
Because I got real positive, but I was still fat. And that was only a reflection of what was inside.
Well,
there's nothing wrong with the shape. There's nothing wrong with any of that. It's nothing wrong with being fat. It was only an example of where I hadn't cleaned up. What are you feeding yourself with?
But I'm glad you said that, because one of the things that I've on my show and on my YouTube, I talk about my journey, the intense journey, and I've lost 28 pounds. Actually, I've lost more than that now. And like you said, there's nothing wrong with being fat, but when you're that fat, that's you telling yourself, I don't love myself like I should. I don't care what you say.
You fighting with yourself.
You fight with yourself.
That inner
because
and
when
outer
you
is
love
fighting.
yourself,
that's right.
You don't beat yourself up with bad food.
That's right.
You don't beat yourself up with lack of exercise. And I'm still.
You don't beat yourself up by making yourself carry weights. It's like waking up every morning and saying, "Give me this brick, give me this brick, give me this 10-pound brick, give me this 10-pound brick," and I'm gonna carry these around with me all day. I'm gonna put these in the backpack just because I don't have anything else to do.
Exactly. When you love yourself,
when you love yourself,
would you put more weight on your kids and make them carry something that they don't need to carry to be a burden on them? And that's how I feel weight is, you know. And now it's cliche to say, "Oh, I'm big, bad, and bodacious. I'm beautiful, big woman." You are beautiful. You're beautiful.
Sweat,
I'm beautiful.
Your heart working overtime.
Exactly.
And you cannot be your very best self.
Let me keep it real. You can't do certain things that you want to do and don't feel like doing it.
Well, you know, we talk about that on my show. You can't twerk. Boy, we about to do that busting challenge. You cannot bust it. Busting out of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Now, and I see them on the Instagram and I see them on the TikTok rocking it huge and stuff like that. But let me tell you something. What are you doing to your heart?
Your knees.
What are you doing to your knees?
Your ankles, your hips.
But we don't want to talk about that. But we're going to talk about it here, don't we? Aren't we?
Let's be honest, because until we can really talk about it, till we can really be forthcoming
and
honest.
Killing us.
But see, that's why it's that inner fight. Because until I was able to admit to myself and grasp with myself what I needed to change about me. That's when I became free. And then when I was able to talk about it. But
and you look good, girl, by the way.
Well,
you have lost weight.
Well, I've lost 120, 130 pounds. Like, so at my height, I got 340, but I looked good.
Yes, you did.
Baby, I was Gucci down in my 340, at 340. But, and let me tell you this, even more so, at 340, when I went to go I had a gastric surgery, and I went to Mexico, and I didn't tell anybody, and I up and went, because when I was at my highest, well, no, that wasn't my highest. My highest was 340, but when I went to Mexico, I was like 313. Really. So at 313, I had already had a breast reduction, tummy tuck, butt injections, and 360 lipo.
Get out of here.
See, that's when you work on the superficial. Yeah. When you work on the outside.
But when you
at
start
313,
on inside,
but at 313 and I was big and shaped. Everybody's like, "You big, but you shapely." Whatever. I looked at some pictures from a birthday party I had. We had took over a hotel. All the staff had on shirts with my name on it. Oh, we was just. I looked at them pictures and I was like, "Who is this big old joker right here?" but
when
it was me.
But when we're in it, we think we doing it.
I had a custom dress. I had 3 wardrobe changes, and I was like,
huge.
Who is this?
Yeah.
Baby, that morning I called Mexico. I ain't even tell nobody till my flight left. They was like, "Hey, where are you going?" "I'm going to have surgery." Yeah. And that helped me. The surgery helped me to lose like about 80 or 90 pounds. Right. Which is a lot. I needed some help. When you need help, you better know when you need help.
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
You better call for help.
And here's the beautiful thing. You are listening to 2 people right now that have lost weight. She had the surgery, helped her lose weight. I've done with mine, it was the eating thing. And I'm sure yours is
my eating had to change. That just helped me lose the first 80. Yeah. And then the next 40, and I still want to lose 25 more pounds, but the next 40, 50, it came from walking. I started walking 5 miles every day.
It's walking
I had to change
for me.
I have to be intentional. Yeah. That's another one of the steps of being releasing the intentional. Right. Releasing the goddess within.
We gotta have you back on the show because this conversation could go on forever. But I want people to know about Cooking Couture.
Okay, Cooking Couture Atlanta. I had to rebrand myself, honey. When they came in and took my bakery, my tax office, put it all on TV. It's a link on Cooking Couture Atlanta, honey. You can hear the whole story. But when they came, I was devastated. I was depressed. and I couldn't bake. Yeah. I couldn't even, it took me 2 years before I could even ride down Candler Road.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I rerouted myself, but I couldn't forgive myself for losing $1 million business.
Yeah.
They said they was going to prosecute me and all of that. 6 months later, they sent me a letter. All charges was dropped. Nothing happened. It was a wake-up call. It was the dues I had to pay. They said it in the book. Everybody that's ever had anything said to keep it, you gotta lose it. Because if you got it once, you can get it again.
You were saying about Trump, you read in that book that, you know, most millionaires, if not all, have lost a fortune. All of them have lost a fortune.
Every ones that are made.
You thought that you was gonna get by without losing it. Guys, let me tell you something. You're looking at a girl. I'm talking about Donnie Jones, bankrupt. I have been bankrupt.
Oh, me too.
Twice. Actually, probably 3 times.
I think I did 3.
Because you did personal.
I know I did too.
2, possible. I think with the personal 3.
I know I've been bankrupt twice.
Made millions and it went bankrupt. Now have rebuilt, and guess what? The lessons I learned there, I will never make those stupid mistakes.
Right, but getting over it. It took me so long to do the bankruptcy. Do you know that I filed and I seen it because on the last bankruptcy it showed. I filed bankruptcy 12 times before I went through and let the creditors
to actually
because I was shamed, because I was this.
Yeah.
But I needed to do it. But had I did it instead of 17 times, had I did it on that first time, I would have been where I'm supposed to be.
Right, but
you
that's
know what
okay.
I'm saying?
That's part of the journey. You guys, I am so thankful to have you on the show. And we are going to talk a little bit next time about Cooking Couture. Can you just give them a little clip about what you do?
Check out Cooking Couture Atlanta. I believe that cooking is sexy. I want to bring us back around the table together. I believe that nobody can lie to me if I'm feeding you. If I'm putting something in your mouth, it's hard for you not to be authentic with me. You know what I'm saying? I want to have fun. I want it to be classy and sexy and the in thing again.
Yes.
I want women to be feminine. I want them to love, they sexy, take care of their families, control what goes in your body, because controlling what goes in your body, being intentional about what you put in your mouth is everything.
That's right.
And being intentional about what comes out of your mouth is everything.
Yes.
I love it.
Can we talk about it? I'm telling you, what goes in your mouth.
What goes in your mouth is everything, and what comes out of your mouth is everything. But it starts up here in your mind and heart. It's in your heart and your mind controls this.
That's right.
You think this controls that and that it don't. You know what I'm saying?
No.
All you got to do is believe in it, but then you got to say it, but you really got to change your heart.
You got to. And you got to forgive. You got to forgive other people, and you got to forgive yourself.
We don't
and
forgive
don't
ourselves.
wish for the past to be different. It ain't. The past
is fictional. It's over. It don't even exist anymore.
It's over.
Only now, learn how to live in the present.
You guys, once again, we have been talking with the illustrious, the amazing, the powerful Ardra Sinett. You guys have got to check her out.
It takes one to know one. Cooking Couture Atlanta, Cooking Couture Atlanta, Cooking Couture Atlanta. It's Ardra Sinett, baby.
Thank you. I love it. But you've been listening to Donnie Jones Live. Check us out next week. Thank you for supporting our show. Thank you for supporting Ardra's show, Donnie Jones Live. Go check us out on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe. Tell everybody about us. And we love you.
Donnie Jones Live. Donnie Jones